Now be recorded.
Okay, I'd like to call the Site Plan Review Committee to order for Tuesday, January 5th. Roll call, please.
Mary Kadowski,
Here.
Gary Paul,
Here.
Chris Atkinson,
Here.
Dale Quinn,
Here.
Dan Pamprin,
Here.
Dennis Persick,
Here.
and Andy's excused.
Okay, please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remember our men and women throughout the world in uniform. I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve. A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action on the site plan review minutes from the regular meeting of December 15th, 2020.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action items. 6A, action on requested site plan review for exterior improvements 2240 Holmgren Way, parcel VA-89-6.
Yes, so for Zinnias Kidney Care is proposing to remodel an existing single-story commercial building located at 2240 Holmgren Way into a medical office for kidney dialysis. The proposed improvements include repaving and striping the parking lot, remodeling the interior, new signage, reconfiguring exterior doors, and a new color scheme for the exterior. The parking lot improvements will allow for more parking spaces and will improve accessibility. Also included on their plan submitted was for a dumpster enclosure. The applicant is available on the phone through our online system if you have any questions for them. Please note that this is in the village center, so this will also need to go before the Plan Commission and Village Board.
Okay. Any questions?
I noticed on the plans here, there is a dumpster enclosure. I do not see it on here. Or am I missing a page here?
They might have just made note that they will be including the dumpster enclosure.
There's a
It's
picture.
actually located on the northwest, or I'm sorry, it'd be the southwest corner of the property, in the back.
Way in
Okay.
What type of a construction is that going to be?
It'll be,
Masonry?
fencing with vinyl slats.
There's a picture of it in the.
Yeah. It should be,
I got it, excuse me, all right.
yeah, this is Octavio with Christopher Kidd Associates with the architects. I added an image of an example because it was kind of hard to detail. It's basically chain link with slats, and so that's exactly going to look like that image basically.
Okay, all right, I see it now.
Yeah.
And there is enough parking area for this type of population that'll be going there?
Yes, especially with the added parking spots for the rear.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Talk in your mic.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Okay, we have a motion by Dan Pamprin to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve as presented. Any other discussion?
The only comment I want to make is it's a nice project for a building, a nice building that's been sitting or empty for some period of time, so let's get it done.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6B, action regarding amending the Bay Park Square planned unit development ordinance for proposed Steinhoffs Furniture signage.
Okay.
Karen.
The requested PUD amendment is to amend the Bay Park Square planned unit development ordinance that covers this area, including the former Yonkers building, for the new Steinhoffs Furniture store to be going in that location. As depicted in the elevations, what they're looking at is some basic signage on 3 of the 4 elevations. I guess the 3 exterior elevations are proposed to have signage. The 4th elevation facing the mall obviously would not. We've worked with Steinhoffs to come to what we think is a good approach for signage on this property. And again, since it's a PUD, there's some flexibility in how the signage is approached. But this does, I guess in my opinion, balance nicely the need for their marketing as well as what we're looking for in terms of overall aesthetic of the area. So the staff recommendation is to recommend approval of the PUD amendment to the Planning Commission for their review at this evening's meeting. Representatives of Steinhoffs are available both in the audience and online if you have any questions for them.
In looking at this, I thought that the signage was really nice. It's a very, very large building, so I thought that the signage fits on it well.
Aaron, they're not using this entire building, correct?
That's correct.
So when they lease that out or do something different, do we have provisions for signage for that space?
We do. On the elevation, they do identify future tenant on this location right here.
Oh,
This to be on the Holmgren Way side.
all right.
Okay,
All right, I don't see any problem with the signage. I think it looks pretty good for a building of that size. I'll recommend approval for the request for the PUD amendment of the plan, or it's going to be recommended to the Planning Commission, but I'll move to approve the signage as presented with
I'll
staff
second.
conditions, if there is any.
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion and a second to recommend approval of the PUD amendment to the Planning Commission. Any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 6C, action regarding requested site plan review for Merge Urban Development Building Number 1 at the 680 block of Mike McCarthy Way, parcels VA-54-2 and VA-55-A. Aaron?
Okay, this is the proposed Merge Urban Development Building, Building 1, on the north side of Mike McCarthy Way. This will be located on the far west end of Mike McCarthy Way on the currently CDA-owned property. There is a CSM that will be going to Planning Commission this evening to split off the property according to their needs, and then follow through with the sale of the land from CDA to Merge for construction of the property. As you can see in the elevations, you're looking at a 5-story building. Just scroll up here. In terms of site plan, what you're looking at here, this is the L-shaped building. This is a public courtyard in here. Parking will be around the back and the side. They took a look at underground parking, but similar to other developers have found in this area, there's a very high groundwater table, which makes underground parking just simply not feasible in this location. The proposal is for a mixture of first floor some commercial uses, and then floors 2 through 5 market rate apartments. The additional building you see here is proposed to be a future climbing gym. The exterior elevations weren't ready for that quite yet, so that'll come through for a future site plan review. So at this time, we are only reviewing the actual apartment and commercial component of this the site plan. Let's bring up an elevation of it here. The proposed exterior materials are masonry. There's some relief, bring some of the brick out a little bit, set some of the brick back to create some relief, architectural interest on the property as well. Otherwise, it's masonry, storefront windows and glass, as well as some panels that you see here. The village board has previously agreed to a development agreement with Merge Urban Development. So this is, we hope to see this come through the process with construction starting yet this year. In terms of recommended conditions of approval, there are a few. Review of the climbing gym exterior to be submitted separately for site plan review. Coordinate with Public Works and Forestry regarding the feasibility of proposed planter beds along Mike McCarthy Way. All metal panels are to use fully concealed fasteners. And of course, the catch-all meeting all other applicable requirements of 17-200 other village codes. From engineering, review, coordinate restriping of parking stalls on Mike McCarthy Way. Since there are proposed new driveway curb cuts that will then interrupt the pattern of on-street parking, so that'll be restriped. Stormwater management, submittal for review, stormwater management information. There's the opportunity for them to buy into the Ashland pond for stormwater quality, thereby negating the need for any on-site stormwater quality measures. They are proposing some stormwater quantity measures underground to maintain, to attenuate any kind of flooding situation. Additional conditions from public safety would be the drive lanes sized to accommodate fire department access. There'll be some coordination with public safety on that. Work with public safety on the possible relocation of the fire department connection to the Mike McCarthy Way side of the building. Simply just ease of access for the fire trucks. And then provide private fire hydrants as necessary to accommodate the 400-foot laydown for their hose. In terms of forestry, we will need a detailed planting schedule with scientific and common names of proposed plantings for review and approval by forestry. Provide detailed planting diagrams for all landscape areas, and again referring to the proposed landscape beds on Mike McCarthy. Owner will be responsible for all plant material planted in the right-of-way, with understanding the village will not be held responsible for damage caused as a result of normal operations, and no maximum plant height no greater than 30 inches, again for visibility for vehicles. From Bike and Ped, they were very happy to see the indoor bicycle storage. They would also like to see outdoor bicycle parking near the main entrance. I think in this area, as heavily influenced by pedestrians and bicyclists, I think that makes perfect sense in this case. Representatives of Merge Urban Development are online. They would like to give a little presentation on the project as well. So I'll make them presenter. So Rose, if you're available, I will make you the presenter. We can go from there.
Perfect. Thanks, Aaron.
You bet.
Okay, Aaron, are you able to see my screen?
We are.
Okay, perfect. And I've got others on the phone today, Brent Dahlstrom and Joy Henneman with Merge Urban Development, myself and Sam Kessel with Bolton and Menk, and Dan Drendel and Tyler Countess with Slingshot Architecture. So we want to thank you guys for the opportunity to give you a brief presentation. Some of you have perhaps already seen this, but just a little bit of project context. Of course, you know where it is, but as Merge Urban Development starts looking at a project like this, they like to look at, you know, where's the pedestrian activity? How is it connected to other things in the vicinity? This was a conceptual site plan that some of you may have seen earlier that shows kind of a full build-up concept. Obviously, this building 1, potentially has changed a bit with a potential climbing gym back there, but still showing kind of conceptually. As Aaron mentioned, there is a certified survey map to sort of reconfigure the property so the parcel and all the site plans match this proposed lot 1 that is shown on the certified survey map. Aaron already talked a little bit about the overall site layout, but here you see again the mixed-use building. This is the climbing gym here and potentially a future building, again, with the parking coming off Mike McCarthy Way and wrapping around the side and the back, with opportunity if something develops here to, I guess it'd be the westerly in the future, that a connection could potentially be made there, and as development continues to the east, potentially can connect through to what is that kind of asphalt paved lot at the moment. So entryways into the building here, the storefronts are on that kind of that public courtyard that Aaron mentioned. The final design of that is still ongoing. About 3,000 square feet of retail space, approximately 93 spaces here. Parking spaces. Here are the planters that were referenced, some of the planting beds, which you can see in a little bit of a later shot. This is just another layout that shows conceptually where that underground detention, stormwater detention would be, and it just shows a less kind of cluttered up with some of the utility connections layout a little bit more clearly. This was also in the packet that you would have received. And the overall landscaping plan, we understand that we have to submit a more detailed planting schedule, but you can see the idea of the trees and the foundation plantings and planter beds surrounding the building, and then some things along the courtyard. And again, those potential planter boxes here along the street. And then Tyler from Slingshot Architecture is going to talk a little bit more specifically about some of the details of the building.
Yeah. So Rose is kind of going over the program that we have. That kind of pink area is where that 3,000 square feet of retail space that at the moment doesn't have a tenant. Just north of that starts to house some of the residential lobby and other core building functions. And then the rest of the first floor space is for that climbing gym tenant. But that chunk off to the east is a 4-story volume that houses those climbing walls that's separated with a firewall between the two buildings. And then we have 4 floors of residential up above with about 22 units per floor, mix of studios, 1 beds, and 2 beds. And this is once again the elevation, just showing some of the materiality. Mainly it's brick with some metal panel accents that will be the concealed fasteners. And this is preliminary look at that climbing gym. At the moment, we're thinking it's going to be clad with metal panel, though the exact pattern and colors of those metal panel is unknown at this time. So we're working through design. We'll bring it back in front of you once we get a little bit more defined. And I think the last sheet is just a couple more exterior rendering views. I'm showing that public courtyard that will kind of lead to a kind of an interior lot pedestrian street that'll connect through the future developments potentially.
Okay. Anyone else from Slingshot or Merge want to add anything to that overview? Otherwise, that's the last slide that I've got prepared. All right. That's all I've got for you, Aaron.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I would like to say I like the amount of masonry that's on this building. I think it's really done well. So, anybody have any comments? Questions?
One thought, the gym that they're proposing, is that a separate building or is that attached to the existing building?
It will be attached to it, but they're working through final exterior design. So when the final exterior design is ready, it'll come back through site plan review for your approval.
So it is just, it'll be attached to it?
Correct.
Okay.
It will.
I agree with Mary. They did a lot of brickwork on here that should look pretty nice in that area.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions?
I have to agree, it looks very good, and I also have a little positive feeling about more brick. I like the idea of that also. So I think they've covered the waterfront pretty well in their presentation. Don't have a lot of any questions for them.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented
With conditions?
with conditions.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve as presented with conditions. Any more comments?
I would just like to mention that it's a recommendation of approval to Planning Commission and Village Board.
Okay, yes,
And that will be tonight.
yes. Okay. So it's a recommendation of approval to Plan Board and Village Board
With conditions.
with conditions. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Okay, number 7, department reports.
All right, I thought considering it's a kickoff of a new year, I'd take a look back at last year and a few years after, before that in terms of how many site plan reviews that you've done. In 2020, we did 54 site plan reviews. In 2019, 44, and in 2018, 59 reviews. So we're pretty consistently right around 51, 52 reviews per year, which in a community of 17,000 people, that's pretty remarkable. So thanks for all your efforts and your time in reviewing all the documents that we send your way. I know sometimes there's a thick list of things to take a look at. So thanks again for your work. I look forward to even better 2021.
Okay, do we have any items for next agenda?
We will. We have two items for sure, and we'll see if any more have popped to my desk since I've been here.
Okay. Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned.